Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Night Sleepover. Hang on, pause. Let me try again. So I'm not ready and comfortable. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Night Sleepover. I'm your host, Charli, and today I'm doing a little different again. I've been just in a phase where I've been doing things differently lately, but today I decided, I had a half day because I had a plan to do some work on some stuff for my new venture, and do some event planning, and that event planning that I was doing was at Fayetteville Public Library, so I was like, well, I will use this as an opportunity to use a really cool sound equipment that they have there. And so here I am, set up in the, I don't know if they call it the whisper room, but that's what I call it. But it's like just a regular studio room, and I'm here by myself. I've been trying to get in a space where I'm more comfortable recording by myself. And I don't know how I feel about it. I should have brought some water in here with me. I'm already feeling self-conscious about it. What's going on in my life right now? Right now I am in the height of working on tying up loose ends for the podcast festival that I'm helping plan. And so that's one of the things I did today. And then I'm also, oh my gosh. Last weekend I went to the city auction nearby where I live in Northwest Arkansas, and they had all kinds of stuff there, but everybody was there for a bunch of trailers. There was 47 trailers that everybody was there for, and we wanted to get a trailer, and I had never been to an auction before, in real life. I'd only ever done online auctions before, and we've redone a lot of stuff from auctions, me and Colton have, because I enjoy fixing things. And so we've redone, I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the podcast, but we redid what I call the meth trailer, which we bought it off of there was a site that you could go to that would it was an auction site, and they had all different kinds of sites on there, and one of them was a payday loan place. And so we went to the payday loan place, and they had a lot full of stuff, and we went and looked at the lot, and there was this trailer there for $500. And the trailer, hang on, I just got a notification from my phone. What's it trying to tell me? Oh, I don't understand. I already had that meeting. You crazy bones. I'm not used to doing it like this. I'm sorry, guys, if I sound distracted. But anyway, so we went to this trailer lot, and there was a trailer for $500. And it was a 24-foot camping trailer. And we looked in it, and we saw that it was hoarded. And I was like, I can clean that out, and then we can have a trailer for $500, and that's legit. And so we bought it for $500, and we towed it home, and we cleaned it out. And 2 steps into cleaning it out, we figured out that it was a intravenous drug users trailer, and there was a bunch of hypodermic needles everywhere. So I always am I tried not to get AIDS for 6 months of my life once by cleaning out this trailer. It was very stressful. But guess who never found any of the needles? That would be Colton. I found all of them. But the trailer needed a new roof, and so we redid the roof, and I scrubbed everything, and we cleaned everything out and dumpstered it. And it was worth it because we ended up selling it for $5,000. So that was nice, but the cleaning out was definitely the worst part. But then we got to use it, and it was fun. And we used it for a couple of hunting trips and camping trips, and that was fun. I liked it. And then we made some money off of it, so can't complain. But anyway, so I'd been to a couple actions before, but most of them were like you go and look at it in real life, and then you put your bids online. This was not that. This was like True Blue, like the people singing the song. One bada bada bada, two bada bada, like literally they were singing, and I was like, oh, I was not used or expecting this. And the way that they did it, I was not expecting. So here's a pro tip to anybody who's never been to an auction before. When they tell you that you are bidding for choice, you're not bidding for that one number for all of them. You're bidding the number up. So like say it goes to $500, and then everything that you choose is then $500. And so it was like not very fair to the people that were actually there that didn't have thousands of dollars and acres of land to take all this stuff home. So like 3 people ended up with 47 trailers, but whatever, it's fine. Because I saw there that there was the old printer from like the engineering department that they print off, like the printer that they use to print off like blueprints and like maps and everything for the city. I saw that it was there. It's like a 24-inch printer. And I looked at it and I was like, this is an expensive printer, I can tell. And I Googled it, and I was the only person that Googled it because it was a $2,700 trailer, and I got it for $25, and nobody bid against me. So my new obsession has been to like print off posters and stuff, which has been really fun for the podcast conference because I have been just like printing off posters for the podcast conference or for Pod Circle or for my podcast. And then I started talking to all my podcast friends, and I was like, hey, if you want, I'll print out like a poster for your podcast if you want to send me one. They're like 18 by 24 inches. And so I've already printed off one of them for my friends. And I just think it would be like really cute at the conference if we all just had like our little posters all around the room. I thought that would be really cute. So I have one of those for me, and then I have one for my friend, and then there are a couple other people that I'm working on to see that I know are coming. So that'll be really fun. Well, it'll be cute. I'll have to take a picture and post it for you guys so that you can see. But that has been my latest obsession. Last night, I thought I was at my breaking point because I was like, the paper was not feeding, and I legit had to rage quit the night before. So I had it all set up and everything was printing fine. And then all of a sudden, all these error codes started coming up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the death of me. But I figured out like what the trick is with it. And so now I think I've got it. I say that, and then I'm going to go home and try and print more stuff, and it's not going to work. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think I got it figured out now. And so that's good. But if you need any posters, let me know. I'm your girl. I'm like currently obsessed with it. And I looked it up, and the ink cartridges are like $300 to replace. But I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just living for my moment today. Like I'm living like there's no tomorrow, which is not unusual for me, as you guys know. Anyway, so that is what is something that is new that's happening in my life as of this week. And what else? Last week I released my article episode, and so I read the article, and I'm like curious. Like usually people text me about stuff, and this is one that I like wanted. I specifically was like, I hope somebody texts me about it because I'm like nervous to send it out into the world. But nobody texted me about it yet, so maybe it was not good. I don't know. But yeah, recently I did have, Kristen called me, and she was like, hey, I've been talking to my friend about, your podcast, and she said that she was listening to it, and, she was like, oh my gosh, that girl needs to get a manager or something. She is going places. And I was like, this is the kind of call that like I need at the end of the day when I'm trying to rage quit on my printer and not remember that everything is going well. That somebody needs to come and tell me I'm going places, because it's hard to remember that because you're just putting the content out in the world. And I'm not fishing for compliments in any way, shape, or form, but it does feel like sometimes being a podcaster does like get into the place where you're like, what am I doing this for other than myself? Like, am I doing this for any other reason beside myself? Because that's a good reason to do it, but is it a reason to keep doing it? Anyway, I don't know. As in life, everything, podcasting like flows, ebbs and flows. And as I always say, like, sometimes I'll hang up from a call, like, no call in specific, but like sometimes some episodes are better than others, or some I like feel like I did a better job than others. And so I'll be like, at the end of every episode, I hang up and I just say they can't all be bangers. And I like usually say that for like everything in my life. So if you're having a hard day, they all can't be bangers. Because if they were, then you wouldn't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I'm making this up. That's what having a podcast is about. Oh, my goodness. The other thing that happened this week is that earlier this week there was a tornado. And I had all the tornadoes I've experienced in this area have all been tornadoes at night. And so, like, this is my first time experiencing a tornado, like, in the daytime. And I had done one that, like, didn't touch down. Like, that it was just, like, a tornado warning, that they didn't have any actual, like, touchdowns or anything. But this is the first time that I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But, like, my office building is not very suitable for that where I work is not very suitable for a tornado shelter, because there's, like, 0 internal walls. Like, it's, like, a big open space, basically. And so, and there's, like, nowhere that's far away from glass. And so, like, the plan is always to go to another building, but I was like watching the news and I knew that it was going to touch down at 4:15. And so I was like, I will leave at 3:45 and then I'll head up to the other building or maybe go home. And so I called my boss and it was like 3:45. I was like, I really feel like I need to go home now. I don't feel safe in the office anymore. And he was like, go ahead, go home. So I'm like, all right, I got this. I know it's not going to hit until 4:15. It's a 30 minutes that I have to drive 15 minutes home. And so I was like, then I was thinking on the way home and I was like, if I run out of gas, then I don't have any way to charge my phone, and I'm at like a quarter tank. I'll just stop and fill up on the way home because I've got plenty of time. Well, I like went and put my credit card in the machine and like pushed the button, and then all of a sudden like the alarms went off and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm in the middle. It was like very scary. I'd never been in a situation, but it was like the time that kids were letting out of school and I was like nearby a school and I like saw all these like school bus and people panicking, and I was like, I've been watching the news. They said it was going 40 miles an hour. It's not supposed to get here until 4:15. I will just I can beat it home because it was in the opposite direction of the place that it was coming from. And so I was like, all right, I've got it. I will just drive home and I'll beat it home and it'll be all right. Well, I did beat it home. But when I got home, like my neighbor was in the street. I was like, are you going to be okay? He's like, my kids are still in the bus. I was like, I could not imagine that feeling. But Colton was still out on the road at work still. And so like he eventually got home like maybe 15 minutes after I did. And it was like right in the nick of time to get home safe. So then we sheltered in the shelter for a while, and then we came out and it was okay. There were other places in the area that were not okay, but we were fine, and thank goodness for that. But I would say it was probably less destructive than other tornadoes that I've seen in the area. But this one was like actually during the daytime, so it's kind of hard to gauge if it was smaller or bigger than the other one because you can't really see it when it's at night. So, but this is the first time that I was like able to like see the weather. Usually it's just like you wake up in the middle of the night and go to the shelter. So it was interesting to see how that was going. And what else is going on? I got to get back in a groove. Like, I have gotten out of the schedule, and I have not been able to get back into a groove schedule of, like, everyone coming in regularly. So I will commit to you now to get back in a better flow with that. But then I was thinking, I thought of an idea. I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me if you like this idea. But I thought of an idea that since I was just thinking about millennials and how they typically consume podcasts more than they do the news these days. And I don't know, I've like stayed away from politics, but maybe like other news that isn't political would be interesting to hear. And so I was thinking about like trying to find like maybe a journalist to add into the mix. Who would like just do a report like the news goes girl talk, like, and see how that goes. I think that would be an interesting take on that. And then also today I was like passing out flyers for the conference, and I met this woman-owned business, or this business owner who's a woman, and it's a woman-owned business that is a charcuterie wine bar. And she was so sweet. And I've been like watching her on Instagram like a little creeper. And she was so nice. I was like, I feel like I'm like on the set of a movie right now because I've been watching you for a while. Not to be creepy or anything. And she was like, oh my gosh, no way. And then I shot my shot and I was like, I've been trying to work up the nerve to like ask you to come on my show. So I think that she's probably going to come on the show because she's like, I would love to do that. Another idea that I had for marketing I thought would be cute is if I went into places, businesses like that, and like put it in the women's bathroom or any of the bathrooms on the back of the wall and been like, got a minute on your phone? Look up my podcasts. I think you're my target market, or something like that. Anyway, these are all my ideas, and I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I got going on. I think that's everything. Maybe I've been watching Survivor, so if you're watching Survivor, text me about it. Love is Blind is pretty much a joke this season, so I don't even know what is exciting to talk about, but I did start following some of them on Instagram. Yeah, I think that's about it. Still been gluten-free, dairy-free, eggs-free, and it's really hard. Sometimes I cheat on the dairy and eggs. Sorry, don't listen to this, Heather. But yeah, the gluten-free I've been pretty dedicated to it, but it's been hard, and I'm just taking a break. I'm not like fully on that diet. I'm just like giving my body a break from dairy right now. And it hasn't been horrible, but it hasn't been lovely either. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Okay, love you, bye.